There will be a day when life will hit you so hard you'll hear the echo in your bones. That's not the day to surrender. It's the day to begin. Friends, life has a peculiar way of testing our limits. It will strip you of certainty, scatter your plans, and sometimes leave you staring into the silence, wondering if there's any way forward. But understand this, being broken is not the end of you. It's the moment you're forced to meet the strongest version of yourself. Accept the blow, but refuse the defeat means meeting reality head on instead of pretending it didn't happen. Too often, when life hits us hard, our first instinct is to deny it, to say, "This can't be happening to me." But denial is a thief. It steals the time and clarity you need to recover. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means you acknowledge the truth of the situation, however ugly or unfair it may be. It means you look the pain in the eye and say, "Yes, you're here, but you won't live here forever." When you accept the blow, you stop wasting energy fighting the fact that it happened, and you begin channeling that same energy toward what you can do next. This is where refusing the defeat comes in. You might be bent, shaken, or even brought to your knees, but as long as you refuse to accept the breaking as final, you have not been conquered. Defeat only arrives when you surrender the will to try again. It's not about pretending the wound doesn't hurt. It's about deciding that the wound will not be the author of your future. Many have stood in the ashes of what they lost and used those ashes as the soil to grow something greater. You may not control the blow, but you always control your choice to rise after it. And that choice is the line between being broken for a season and being broken forever. Seeking the seat of advantage in the wreckage means refusing to see a disaster as the final scene of your story. Every setback, no matter how devastating, hides within it a lesson, a new path, or a hidden strength that would never have surfaced without the challenge. Most people stop at the sight of the ruins. They see only what's been lost and overlook what might be born from the loss. But if you're willing to dig into the rubble of your circumstances, you will often uncover something that can serve as the foundation for your next rise. It might be a new skill forged out of necessity, a deeper resilience built through survival, or a fresh perspective that strips away illusions and reveals what truly matters. Sometimes the advantage is not immediate, it hides, waiting for you to grow strong enough to see it. This is why patience is as important as persistence. You can't always force the lesson to appear on your timeline. To find that seed, you must ask different questions. Instead of, "Why me?" ask, "What now?" Instead of, "What have I lost?" ask, "What can I build with what's left?" The seed may be small, almost invisible, but it holds the potential for a harvest far greater than what was destroyed. The storm may have taken much from you, but it also cleared the ground for something new to take root. And if you plant that seed and nurture it, one day you may look back and realize the wreckage wasn't the end. It was the beginning in disguise. Keeping your mind on the vision, not the circumstance, is the discipline of refusing to let your current reality dictate the limits of your future. Circumstances are temporary snapshots. They show where you are, not where you can be. When life breaks you, the situation often looks so bleak that it's easy to believe it will last forever. Bills pile up, doors close, people leave, and the horizon seems swallowed in darkness. But vision is the light that cuts through that darkness. It's the mental image of the life you want, the success you're building toward, the person you're becoming. If you lose sight of that image, the weight of your present condition will pull you under. Circumstances shout for your attention. They remind you of what's missing, what's broken, and what hurts. Vision whispers of what's possible, of what could be built, of who you can become. The whisper will never overpower the noise unless you choose to listen to it on purpose. This means filling your thoughts with the future you're chasing, even when it feels out of reach. It means refusing to measure your worth or your potential by the size of your current struggle. Great turnarounds in life happen when people choose to believe in the vision more than the facts in front of them. Facts can change, What's impossible today can be your reality tomorrow if you keep working toward it. Your vision is the compass. Your circumstances are just the terrain. Terrain changes with each step, but the compass remains steady. Hold that vision in your mind like a lighthouse in a storm, and no matter how fierce the waves, you'll find your way through. Building power through persistence is about understanding that strength is rarely a gift. It is a muscle forged by repetition, resistance, and refusal to quit. When life breaks you, your first instinct may be to stop moving, to conserve your energy, to wait until the pain fades. But real power doesn't come from waiting for the storm to pass. It comes from taking steps forward in the rain. Every time you push through difficulty instead of surrendering to it, you're adding weight to the bar of your resilience, and with each lift, you grow stronger. Persistence is not glamorous. It's not the big dramatic comeback scene. It's the quiet decision to keep going when no one is watching and no reward is in sight. It's sending another application after 100 rejections, making another call after hearing no, all week getting up early to work on your dream when your mind tells you it's pointless. These small acts, repeated daily, create momentum, and momentum is the engine of power. Life's obstacles are not there to block you permanently. They are checkpoints, each one testing whether you want your goal badly enough to continue. Most people turn back at these points, but those who persist discover something incredible each time you refuse to stop. The obstacle itself loses some of its power over you. What once seemed like a wall becomes a stepping stone. The truth is, your persistence doesn't just help you reach your goal. It changes who you are. The person who arrives at the finish line is not the same person who began the race. You arrive with deeper grit, sharper focus, and a strength that can't be faked. That strength is your true power, and once it's built, it becomes a force you can call on for the rest of your life. Surrounding yourself with minds that lift you is about choosing your environment as carefully as you choose your goals. When life breaks you, the people around you will either help you rise or quietly keep you down. Human energy is contagious. Spend enough time with the bitter, the hopeless, and the complacent, and you will find yourself thinking their thoughts, speaking their language, and adopting their limits. Spend time with people who believe in growth, resilience, and possibility, and you will start to absorb their strength as naturally as breathing. The right minds don't just cheer you on when you succeed. They challenge you when you hesitate. They remind you of your capabilities when you forget. And they refuse to let you settle for less than you're capable of. They see the version of you that exists beyond your current pain, and they speak to that version even when you can't see it yourself. Sometimes their belief will be the only thing that keeps your vision alive in the darkest seasons. This isn't about surrounding yourself with people who agree with everything you say. It's about finding those who push you toward better. True allies won't coddle your excuses. They'll hold you accountable. They'll call you higher, even if it's uncomfortable, because they know the weight you can carry and the heights you can reach. To build this circle, you must be intentional. Seek out those who are already living with the mindset and discipline you admire. Spend time in spaces, physical or digital, where ambition and encouragement are the norm. As you grow, you will find that you also become the uplifting mind for someone else, and the strength you once borrowed becomes the strength you give. When you surround yourself with minds that lift you, you are not just finding support. You are building an ecosystem where success becomes the natural outcome. Acting even in uncertainty is the art of moving forward without having the full map in front of you. Life's most important opportunities rarely come with guarantees. When you've been broken, fear of making the wrong choice can paralyze you, convincing you to wait for perfect clarity before taking the first step. But waiting for certainty is often just another form of hiding. Progress doesn't belong to the one who has all the answers. It belongs to the one willing to act with what they know now. Uncertainty is uncomfortable because it strips away the illusion of control. Yet the truth is, you never truly have control over every outcome. You only have control over your actions. Taking that first step, even without knowing the entire path, creates momentum, and momentum reveals possibilities you could never see from a standstill. Many doors only appear once you are already moving toward them. Action is also the antidote to fear. Fear grows in silence and stillness. It thrives in overthinking. The moment you act, you begin replacing fear with experience. Every small decision taken in uncertainty teaches you something. What works, what doesn't, where to adjust. It's like steering a ship. You can't correct your course until you've actually left the harbor. This doesn't mean being reckless. It means making the best choice you can with the information you have, then being willing to adapt as you go. You'll never feel completely ready, and you don't have to be. Readiness is often built through the act itself. So when the path ahead is unclear, take the step anyway. You'll either find solid ground or learn to build it beneath your feet. And in that movement, you'll discover that uncertainty is not your enemy. It's the space where courage is born. Declaring your comeback before the world sees it is about making a decision in the privacy of your own heart that you will rise again, long before there is any visible proof. When life breaks you, people around you may not see the possibility of your recovery. They may doubt your ability to return, or worse, they may stop thinking about you altogether. That's why your comeback has to begin as a personal declaration, a line drawn in your own mind that says, "I am not done." This declaration is not for the sake of appearances, it's for the sake of direction. It sets your thoughts, energy, and actions on a trajectory toward rebuilding. You don't wait for perfect conditions, for applause, or for everyone to believe in you. You begin speaking life into your situation now. Words are powerful. They are not just expressions of what is, but instruments of what can be. When you declare your comeback, you're training your mind to focus on the destination instead of the wreckage left behind. Your declaration doesn't have to be loud, but it must be certain. It can be whispered in the mirror at dawn, scribbled in a journal, or prayed in the quiet of your own soul. What matters is that you mean it. Once you've made that decision internally, it begins to shape how you move through the world. You stand a little taller. You take bolder steps. You see opportunities where before you saw dead ends. Others might not recognize it at first, but the energy of a person who has decided to return is undeniable. And when the results finally show, when the world sees what you've built, they'll call it a comeback. But you'll know it didn't start then. It started the moment you declared it in the dark, when no one was watching, and you refused to let the breaking have the final word. Life will try to break you, not because it hates you, but because it's shaping you into someone capable of carrying a greater crown. The question is never, will the breaking come? The question is, will you let the break define you, or refine you? Stand back up. The world hasn't seen the last of you yet.